Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to The Addicted Bookworm. Okay, so, oh man, I'm getting close to looking forward to, Sunday, because this is like, oh man. Alrighty, um, okay, so welcome back to my channel, and we're continuing the Christmas reading blog. On my other channel, it's the Christmas horror blog, because all these books are essentially, well, on my other channel I have added book mail, which I will do a review of that book when I'm done with it. I'm basically reading like 2 chapters a day plus a excerpt from the victim's reading channel. Alright, so the first one that I read was the 25 Gifts of Terror. And this one's a little different. So this is basically a world in which there are different areas, and this the character in this particular story goes, and he's kind of wandering around, and he kind of doesn't know where anything's at, and the only thing that he knows is that it's Christmas, but there is nothing that indicates that it is Christmas, but somehow he knows it is Christmas time. And basically this is kind of a world that I kind of fear we're going down the rabbit hole into, where everybody is like, at first people were very much against it, and then newer generations came around and they embraced it. And basically it's, they put something in your brain, and basically they can control everything from like what kind of jobs you work. There's no cars because nobody can afford them, because they don't get paid enough to actually afford a car. They don't even get paid enough to actually afford food, which is sad. And basically his link is failing, and he's just like wandering around, and it's very clear that this is a very technologically addicted world. And it was like, oh my god, I fear we're going down that road to where we're all going to be zombies addicted to tech and monitored by Big Brother. So that was, oh man. The next one was, I bought a haunted Christmas tree farm. This is for day 4, and Julie is kind of having, Julie's a little kid, is having a conversation with her twin brother about the toy car that he found, and basically like, why are you addicted, why do you like this, you got cooler toys. And he's like, oh, my friend's letting me play with it for a bit. So basically, he's absolutely enthralled by this really like old toy that you would not normally imagine a child to be fascinated with, but he is. And of course now we're doing some grocery shopping and everything, so yeah. It's kind of we're going to it now. I do know for a fact that the next chapter is when we actually are going to see some business being dealt. Alright, the next one is I'll Be Alone for Christmas. This is going to be chapter 4, and she finally has reached the cabin, which is good. I'm really glad she finally reached that point. But she is, she's there. There's this woman that lives in this big fancy mansion that scares the living daylights out of her. But they kind of have a little conversation. It's kind of a little off-putting. And then of course, she finally gets inside the cabin, and it's like really like, it's nice inside. It's not super nice inside, but it's nice inside. And the code that the person gave her works. She gets in, and now she's finally at her destination. So far, no creepy guy, but definitely a creepy woman. I'm like, okay. Now, unlike before, I would generally stop here and say I'll be at part 2 later on. I got through those. So, I read 2 chapters of The Winter Visitor, so I am finally, I think I'm finally on chapter 11. Yeah, I'm on chapter 11. Alright, so I am on chapter 11. So here's a weird thing is, we have this guy, he's a doctor, and his grandmother gives him money to get a flat that's close by his job. Apparently he's the only one that actually works. And what happens is, everything's going great and everything, and then suddenly, one day, his wife walks out on him with her stuff, and he has no idea, why she's doing this. And it's all based on that lie the guy told his wife. And his wife turned and told the doctor's wife the lie. And the wife believes it. And she will not listen to reason. So she leaves him because of a lie. He gets mad. In the next chapter, he goes to see his brother. And his brother's not there, but his wife's like, well, she had to know. And he's like, no, what? I don't know what you're talking about. And she repeats the lie, and he's looking at her like she's 7 levels of stupid. And then the brother shows up and realizes that his wife has told a lie. And yeah, it's not good. It's not good. But then we meet the other brother who lives in the States, and they're coming over with his son. Him and his son are coming over to to Scotland or England from the United States. And what does his son, who's named Kit, do? He's high on drugs. He actually brought drugs into the UK and used them. And yeah, he does not care, because now he found out that he's essentially poor now. And he's not liking it. He does not like the fact is that now he is dirt poor, and they got to go to Grandma's house to suck up to Grandma, and hopefully Grandma will not disinherit him from the family fortune. So Kit's very spoiled. He does not know what it's like to suffer. Yeah, they got 4 houses. Why do you need 4 houses for? I do not know. Book mail. We continue this. So finally, the police appear in the book. However, it has been less than 24 hours since Lexi was taken. The police are like, it's been less than 24 hours. We're not going to do this. But then T, who is a Generation Xer, is like, no, we're going to find out what is going on. And so they finally go into the supermarket, and the weird thing is, and even the staff are like, what the hell is going on here? So the video shows Lexi's car pulling up, and then there's another car, and then suddenly the footage blacks out for, I believe I read 15 seconds. I might be wrong. And then Lexi is gone. And when the police see that one moment Lexi was there and the next minute she's gone, they have absolutely no choice but to say, yeah, we got a missing person on our hands. So the police are stunned. The people in charge of the system is like, where did the footage go? And then there is this idea that you can jam the signal and basically make the footage go black for a certain amount of time. So this guy apparently had a jammer because he knew that cameras were watching. He did not want the police to have any kind of evidence they could use to find him. Because, hey, he needs his MC to make his book work. So, yeah. Then, the next chapter, we have Lexi, and he's put food in front of her, and now she's got to figure out how to get to the food and the coffee. And this is his little game he's playing with her. You can really tell there's this desperation that is going on. Then we get another excerpt where, of course, she's doing another book review, and then that is it. Alright, so those are all of the books I read for this morning, and I will see you guys in the next video.